Hey you guys.
Hey you guys, how you doing?
It's your favorite couple.
We're
The
back, kids.
Beckett's. The Beckett's. The Beckett's. The Beckett's. The Becky.
That's our theme song. That's our theme song.
Hey, I thought it was dope.
Yeah, she just came up with it.
So we are here with another video. And we want to talk to you guys about things to manifest, how to manifest love in your life, relationship, how to pray and manifest, and what tools we did to attract one another to each other, because we once never knew each other.
We once never knew each other.
And now we do.
Now we do. And it felt like we knew each other for about 3 years.
Yeah. You said 3 years.
3, 4 years, 5 years.
I couldn't put a limit on how long.
6, 7 years.
Let's say 10. For me, okay, that's 3 years for him, but forever for me. You know,
forever,
it seemed like I
don't want to be that.
I've known him forever, but he's known me for only 3.
I know him forever.
Don't say it because I said it.
No, I'm serious. I just put that number on it because I was just saying it long. It was scratch that out. Yeah, but we're just gonna talk about
because we didn't know each other for 3 years. Since you want to, say that.
I mean, we could just talk about the things that we did to manifest.
That's what I was trying to get to, baby.
So this is our story, like our examples of what we did and some tips to give to you of what we did to manifest it. It's not like we can give you tips on how to manifest love because it can come anyway, either way. But if you're looking for that one that fits you, that spiritually connects you,
yeah, that person that makes you better. That is adding to you and not taking away from you. Continue to watch this video because I think you're going to enjoy it.
You will enjoy it. I think you really enjoy it because I think it'll be some great tips that we can actually, give to you guys. You know what I mean? And just to start it out, just to give you an example.
So these are things that certain things that he personally did when I wasn't even in his life, before we knew each other, and while we were courting or dating, if you want to say, getting to know each other. Some people say talking. I was talking to him. I've been talking to this guy or whatever, but we call it courting. To see if we even wanted to take the next step. So
So in this situation, one of the first things I did was I got serious with it myself, and I said, I want a wife. And I said it out my mouth, but also my heart, my mind agreed with it. And it was true.
So everything aligned.
So everything aligned. Right. I just wasn't talking. I was serious. And the Most High knew that. So I prayed on it, on my heart. And out of my mouth proceeded with my mind and my thoughts on it as well. And this is one of the things that, one of the steps in the process that, led me to my wife now.
Meeting your wife. Yeah. So first things first is something that when you want to be single. Come on now, we're all grown. We know that, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship. I can't take care of no man, and I can't take care of no woman, and I'm not ready for my selfish ways and behavior. Because a lot of times when you say, I just want to be single, there's some things in you that and some people just, they don't want to be with each other. So I can't knock it. But I'm saying personally for me, I knew when I wanted to be single, and I knew when I wanted to be with somebody. And I had a lot of fun. I didn't want to, be in a relationship for years. And so I got to a place in my life where I was like, I realized I was alone, and I wasn't alone by like not having friends or not having people in my corner or, people that entertained me, but I was alone within myself as far as I didn't have somebody to share things with. Intimacy. I was lacking intimacy, and I had all the surface goods, but I had no intimacy. So when I was ready to be married, I started to prepare myself to be a wife. And how do you prepare yourself to be a wife? Well, there's things that you would have to drop. You got to drop the unnecessary people you talking to. So that was one thing. I had to clear out the closet. We all got that closet that we need to clear out. And I needed to clear out my closet of men that I was entertaining that wasn't meaning me no good. Okay, right. No good. So I started to do that. I started to take time within me, search out things that I had issues with, like personal issues, like daddy issues, like I had daddy issues. And if you're a woman that was raised by another woman and single family home in a sense, yeah. You and your for me, I had daddy issues. So I had to seek out, and I was blessed enough to correct those things with my dad or get those things corrected from my dad on his end, So mm-hmm. I didn't have that anymore. So I wasn't longing for older men's attention or validation. So it's things that you have to clear out of your closet that is not just with other people, but with yourself spiritually. And so I personally decided to come to grips like, this is what I'm going to do. I want to be a wife. How do I prepare myself to be a wife? And another thing was I started to hang out with friends that were in relationships and that were married. And I would ask questions like, hey, how do you do this? Or, how do you know when your man is happy or satisfied? And they would answer these questions. And it really helped me. It was very, it was great tools. It was great tools for me to prepare myself to be a wife.
You went out to seek that wisdom.
Yeah, like I remember this lady. She told me, she told me she was making up her bed, and she was like, "Yeah, girl, my husband's about to come home from work, and I know one thing, I can have little dishes in the sink, but one thing I'm not gonna have is his bed unmade." Then my sister confirmed it because she's married, so my sister confirmed it and was like, yeah, I have to make up the bed before my husband come home because it doesn't make sense if your bed's not made. And I was like, whoa, like, hey, sometimes I just pop. If you single, you gotta go to work. You gonna pop out of bed. You ain't gonna trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So I would do that. So.
And you know what? Some people think they may want to be single for the rest, and maybe that's your cup of tea.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about how to attract your soulmate.
So this message is for people who are seeking and longing to attract it. Soulmate, somebody that they want to be in a relationship for as long as they are here on earth.
Right.
If this message is only for them and not those who are seeking to stay single. If you are, then you definitely don't have to listen to anything we're saying. No. But I can definitely say another example that I used was I wrote down a vision board. And on that vision board, I wrote a number of things. But I can remember writing down wanting a wife, and I can remember that clearly, saying that I wanted a wife at this time and to start a family because I was ready at this young age. And so I wrote that down, and I came to the house and I saw that so many times. I saw it, and I was already, at the time.
You saw it?
I saw it on the vision board.
You saw it on the vision board.
And then I saw it in my mind, and I started to have dreams about even a child of mine. I never wanted children in my life, and and I started to pray on what was on my vision board. And so those two things already had me to, I started to manifest this woman, the particles started colliding, and spiritual started to come to the physical, and Yah was preparing her and making her at the same time I was praying for her. And he was getting her and molding her to be ready for this man that was also ready and praying for the same thing. And so right across the country was another woman who was seeking and asking for the same thing. And I didn't have no idea of this. Of course, I know it now, but just I stayed on top of that, praying, and the Most High knew. Yeah. So quick work did he do. So that's another thing for me I did. If she wants to share another.
What you say, so basically what he's saying is he wrote on his vision board him getting a wife and obtaining a wife. Mm-hmm. And this is before he met me. And then when he met me, he put me on the vision board as his wife. Right. So then it switched, So there's things that you can definitely do while seeking love and while seeking someone to love you back. And what?
Can I add this, baby?
Yeah.
I also, when I did meet her, when I started talking to her for the first time, uh, right away, the way she spoke to me, I called her my wife. And I can remember my family saying, you saying that's your wife? That's your wife already? I said, yeah, that's my wife. I put it on my phone. So I'm doing these little things. I'm dropping these little things into the universe and the atmosphere, showing the Most High. I'm serious. I'm calling her my wife before anything. Before we even got any serious, she's my wife. She's my wife. So that when she becomes my wife, I already did the work. I already called it forth.
You called it forth, so you got to speak it into existence.
Right.
You know, so that's what he did. And for me personally, I like I said, I started to ask questions, started to position myself to be a wife. I started cooking more. I started to learn more from a lot of elders, like women that was older, that just kind of, they had successful marriages. Some people, I even talked to people that had broken marriages, and questioned the things that went wrong. These are things that you can definitely do to just find out more information and more detail on how to have a healthy marriage, because it's so important. And I cannot stress enough, it is a job to be with somebody. It's a job because you got to make sure this person is emotionally stable, you know, and if you're connected to them, their emotions are connected to you, so you feel everything that they're feeling. When he's not having a good day, I feel it. I'm like, what's wrong? I can feel your energy. You know, so
that was the weirdest thing for me when she first started doing that.
I could feel his energy. I could just feel it. I could hear his tone change. I could see when his facial expression, and this is how you become one with your mate. And so within that, and not to mention I'm a very detailed person, so I study people. I don't know why, I just do. Anyways, but you definitely want to surround yourself, because when you start to surround, it's like seeing something that you want. If you continuously see it, then it shall appear in your life, because this is what you're a part of manifesting. Okay, this is part of
imagining.
Yeah, your imagination become an actual tangible things. Yeah, so it's like the creator. You know, he thought it and called it forth. And so you have to think it, because our mind is, that's why it says mind's a terrible thing to waste. You don't want to waste your mind, because it's a powerful thing. That's where master manipulation come in. People can be doing witchcraft within their mind because they're manipulating people. Right. So you got to understand how to channel that energy in a positive way, especially if you know how to use your mind for good. You know, so personally, I surrounded myself around people, and I was in my prayer closet. And when I was praying out and crying out to the Most High, he told me to, when I used to, and this is just a side note, when I used to go to sleep, sometimes I would have clothes on my bed. My bed wouldn't be made all the time, right? Like, it's just, you know, I would have mail maybe on my bed or something like that. And that's not how you want to, like, where's your husband gonna lay? So I was praying, and when I was praying, the Most High said to me, clean off your bed, prepare for your husband, because he's coming. Right. And so I was like, wow. So I got to clean my bed off. And then I was like, okay. I didn't take it serious, but I was like, maybe, you know. And then the next day, I heard, clean off your bed. So I was like, okay. I cleaned off my bed, folded all my clothes, put it away, hung up my stuff, you know, put all my mail in the proper, because everything has its proper place. And you just got to put those things in those order. So I was ordering my steps, ordering my life, making things. But the Father was doing it for me. But you know, He allowed me to do those things. And when I was doing it, I started to think clear. I knew where things was. I wasn't so scatterbrained when I was like, dang, where I misplaced this at, where I put this at. Because you have to be on point. If you want to be a wife, you got to be on point. Because my husband gave me all his stuff. Okay, I got all his documents and important letters and stuff like that, because that's my, you know what I'm saying? Every relationship is different. Some women aren't as responsible. Some women don't want that responsibility. Me personally, I'm like that. I'm okay. I like to make sure we have this in this file. We got this organized here. We're going to make sure we got this. Did you lose that? Because where's this going? You know?
Exactly, and I want to add this too. People may think they want to be alone because they want to live this fast and whatever life. Go ahead, but just remember the man wasn't made to be alone. Neither was the woman made to be alone. And when you find out and you don't want to be in your grand old age or 60 something years old, and now you finally looking for a man, and it's hard to because your life has been ran through and sloppy the whole time, and you don't know how to obtain and keep a man, or vice versa. A man don't know how to keep a woman. You know, he's in this age of been pimping and playing around the whole time, and this 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 relationship is about a lifelong friendship and building with the opposite sex, and it's a companionship. When all the sex is ran out and everything else,
what else are you gonna have?
Do you have a sustainable relationship? Is it something that you can lean on and be like, okay, I have this best friend here that I can do everything with, and that's what you need. And this is already here with her. It's already here with her, and it's crazy. I feel like that old young couple. I really feel like we've been married. We that couple that said, "Hey, we've been married for 67 years, and I'm about 70 something years old, and she about 70 something years old. We just been in a relationship for a long time, but it's something that we prayed for. We manifested it, and we thought about it in our minds, and we made up our minds, and we were so true to what we wanted in our lives, and we were so sure of what we wanted, that the Most High was ready to move. So I'm not saying it's not going to work. You may find a person so that you can date or whatever it may be, but will they last through not the ages, but will they last through a long span of your life, or will they be the person that like to death do us part? Are they that person for you, or will they be that person that cheats and do you wrong and you go through more hardships than not? So it's not this
don't
message.
Settle.
Exactly. This message is not for
don't settle.
You to find anybody. The message is to find the person that's right and correct. Obeying, living that life as a true woman, and true man that definitely is pure. Will find that other pure person, and those two purities will come together, and it would be a great thing. Will you have disagreements and stuff? Yes,
of course,
but it don't have to be those extreme disagreements where people kill each other, fight, domestic violence, and break up, get back together, break up again, cheat,
roller coaster
all that stuff.
All the stuff that the world has for you. Because honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Once I became real spiritual, and once I became serious about my spiritual walk with the Most High, everything else started to come on track. Everything was on track with things, And for me personally, I was in worldly relationships. I dated men that partied a lot, smoked weed, drinking, doing everything, cheating, sleeping with girls. I've dated guys like that, and honestly, it brought me a lot of tears and headache. And I was like, I'm more than this. And this is why I say don't settle. Now, I'm saying you ain't got, I had a list, but I didn't have a crazy list. Like, he has to drive this. All the material things wasn't on my list. I had soul searching things. And this is one of the key things that you want to do in finding or in open as a female, because he's the pursuer. Okay. I'm a cat.
You know what? Now, maybe hearing you say that,
what?
Maybe I want to say this. Think about this. When a person seeks for that person that has all the material things on their list, will that get them the relationship they want? It may cause you to be in a relationship with all the things that they want. They got the cars, they got the house, but that relationship is broken. Now, why not get in a relationship that you can build together? You
need a solid foundation in your relationship.
A solid foundation. And we have that in the Most High. And I want to give all the glory and honor to the Most High, Yahuwah, for what he has done in my life and her life, and together as a union so strong that is unbreakable. And this is what we believe, and this is what we say every day. This is what we call on. We call that our union will be strong, and we pray for our unions to be strong. That's another key. We pray together. We fasted together, and we pray that our union would be strong and nothing will break it. And we will call out when someone is trying to do that, and trying to separate us and make us to be at odds with another.
Right.
And no, that's not going to happen. Because
I think the Most High that we haven't been in any situation, and I'm saying thus far because you never know what the future holds. that anybody has tried to sabotage us or tried to do things to make us turn on one another. I mean, you know, I can't say that the support system wasn't there for my family or his. You know, I think they pretty much supported us finding love because my family know I'm a good woman. His family know he's a good man, and in that, you know, they wanted to know, is she good enough for him? Does she deserve a good man like him? Is she gonna give him all the things that he need, and vice versa? My family's like, she's a good woman. Is he good enough for her? You know, so naturally they're gonna have those questions, but they still was so receptive and they opened up to one another really well because, you know, and that's another thing. My family. Hey.
You know, I feel like I had, not this final subject, but I didn't have to prove myself, but I had to show myself consistent, and what I found it easy to be myself and say, you know what, in time, our family will come to see that I'm the guy that, you know, they first saw and met, and I will not deviate from that, but I would be the same because it's easy when you just yourself, and I won't try to be anything else other than myself because the Most High has made myself. So, this is how, in a couple of minutes that we did do, this is a couple of things of how we obtained and found one another. You know, through the power and the assistance of the Most Highest, who has put us together. And so
it's no goodness of our own.
And no goodness of our own. We're just two people that was meant to be because our minds and our hearts was on
the right
on one accord, and our mindsets was on one accord, and birds flock to their own kind, and we have our mindsets are the same, and we find interest in these same things. Not maybe all, but
not all things.
Mostly, a lot of the things, you know, the important things.
But the most important things that add value to you, and you just want to make sure you find someone that adds value to you, and not take away value from you, because we as women, you know, we are a sensitive creature, spirit. We have a sensitive being, and so, you know, we, especially as I'm speaking for a community of brown people, black people, for real, you know, in our community, you know, it's a lot of, we need validation as women. You know, we're looking for men, and we become thirsty for attention, thirsty for things that just holds value to us. And just know that you're already valued. You already have value because you got that beautiful skin. You have that melanin that's popping, okay? Not to mention, you have so much more potential. You have so much more goals and drive. And because we are the less in the bunch of in culture status, you know, and in my opinion, because I am a black woman, and I really don't try to say black, but you know, we're gonna say black on here.
Just, I think our people, women, have to get away from that mindset of what the world is trying to push on our women to be independent and able to get the bag, so called, on their own. And I want to say,
but usually the bag is pimping out a nigger.
Okay,
simple. So, like they be like, oh, I'm getting the bag secure, but it's usually I'm dating a baller or I'm doing this, and
but
that's
I'm talking about the independent, strong black woman.
Okay, then you have those too.
How much stronger if you found a man who was on the same level or was helping to lift you up? I don't need a man to validate me. That's what they say. I don't need a man to lift me up.
Listen.
Why think like that? Who taught you to think like that? What happened in your life to make you think like that in the first place?
Hurt people, and it's a cycle that consistently repeats itself in our community.
It's a sad thing.
We are descendants of slaves.
Asians don't do that to their people. Mexicans don't do that to their people. No other race really does that to their men except for us. We don't need them, and that's a division caused from years and years and years ago that was taught down, just like the light skin dark skin thing, like you know what? I encourage y'all to read the Willie Lynch book, and that's for another day, another story. But this is what we did to obtain our relationship, and we already 25 minutes into this video. We're meant to make it 15 minutes, but
when you are flowing with all this juices and berries, okay, you're gonna spill that tea, okay, and I'm sipping mine.
I didn't open mine yet.
But it's not really tea, it's ginger beer. But basically what we want to say is continue to pray. Continue to write your vision board, write the vision and make it plain, okay? And continue to manifest it. If you think it in your mind, you have a vision of it. Like my vision was for him. I wanted a man that had 2-parent home. I was raised in 2-parent home and had siblings. Like he wasn't the only child because I couldn't do it. I dated somebody that was the only child. I was like, yo, can't do it. Not knocking you if you're the only child, but
because we know everybody ain't the same.
Compromise more. Not everybody's the same, but I couldn't do it. I knew that's what I didn't want in my life. And so he checked out on a lot of lists. He was raised in 2-parent home.
She checked out on every list of mine, so I'm sorry. She just did.
He was the middle child like me. We had a lot in common. Like it worked out. So
maybe on the birthday minute.
Wait, first off, hold on. They gonna have to watch this to this whole video end because guess what? It's my birthday, okay? It's my birthday. It's my birthday. We're gonna party like it's my birthday.
Oh man.
We're gonna sip ginger beer like it's my birthday.
It's her birthday and it's really, really late. So we're gonna get off of here and we're gonna enjoy her birthday. We're gonna enjoy this night. I got 5 hours of sleep, but we had to make this video.
We had to come to you guys.
And you know what? It is her birthday, and
she's like, "It's her birthday."
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to be here to see her 30th and allow her to.
Dang, you gonna tell my age like that? You ain't supposed to tell her I'm 30.
Okay, I can cut that out.
I ain't gonna cut it out. You know how to edit.
Okay. Well, but yeah, this is what I'm saying. But thank the Most Highest for this day, and we want.
And I just want to let you know this is what 30 looks like when you drink water. Oh God. And you don't stress out.
Yeah, she did look young though, right? Yeah, I didn't mean to tell her age; it just slipped out. But what I do want to say is though, please, if you haven't already, please go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Beckers. Like, comments,
and subscribe. We want you to do everything because we do read their comments and we do reply because we don't get a lot of comments, but we do try to because
Please, and if you're gonna you want to leave negative comments on the
do so. I want to read them too.
I have to disagree. I can't stand reading negative comments because I don't know what's the point of wasting time to come over here and say something negative.
I just want to see how negative people can be. I just okay, that's how you feel.
Okay, well, if they want to.
If you want to leave a comment, make a comment, regardless of what it is. Okay?
If you want to, okay.
And now your negative comment, if you go back on there and it's not on there, it's not my fault. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Yeah, but if you're unhappy, leave the unhappiness to yourself and find happiness somewhere.